Welcome to If I Only Had 10 Minutes. I'm Jane Randel, and with me is Mike Schoenfeld, Michael to me, here to take some questions. Michael, tell everybody, everybody knows who you are, but can you tell us just a little bit about yourself?
Hardly. First of all, delighted to be here. Thank you, Jane. Any chance to hang out with Jane Randel is a chance I will take. Mike Schoenfeld, my day job is as a partner and head of the foundation and education and nonprofit practice at Brunswick Group in Washington, D.C. Before that, I spent 26 years on college campuses. I did graduate a long time ago. I most recently, almost 15 years at Duke University as the Vice President for Public Affairs and Government Relations and the Chief Communications Officer. Before that, I had the same role at Vanderbilt University in Nashville, Tennessee. And then I graduated finally in 2022 and joined Brunswick and moved to Washington to work with many universities, foundations, nonprofits, and many of our corporate clients that seek to or are interested in engaging with issues around higher education, which is, as everybody knows, now one of the hottest and most controversial aspects of American society. So my timing was impeccable.
It's very bizarre that higher education is a hot button issue, but go figure. You have a deep comms background and you come from education, so this is a particularly good question for you. What is your gut reaction to AI generated messaging?
So I'm also an old man, so I tend to think of AI as a tool at the moment more than a more than a brain. And it certainly in comms, and certainly at the level, Jane, that you work at, the level that I'm fortunate to work at, the messaging and ideas and counsel and guidance is based on a very human-centered algorithm of experience and relationships.
Right.
And our clients and the people that we work with, and the people that we're fortunate to spend time with, that wisdom is not going to be replaced by AI.
Right.
It'll be supplemented. Does the research help? Absolutely. And I am very excited about some of the predictive aspects of AI. But I do have to separate, from my perspective, I have to separate AI, the tool, and the AI in doing is it going to help me do my job and improve the way I do my job? Absolutely. Is it going to replace what I do? Not yet.
Right. Do you use it?
Yeah, I do use it. I used it recently to predict what I used it to write an to write an op-ed, not for just to say, okay, if these people wrote an op-ed about what I think they're going to say, what would it look like?
Oh, that's so interesting.
And that was a particularly valuable tool. Again, it wasn't then to say, okay, here's the op-ed. In fact, it was what their critics might say. It was to sort of predict what a critic might say.
That's fascinating. That's really interesting use of it. You can't get away without me asking you a question about fractional. What do you think people misunderstand about hiring fractional communications leaders?
Maybe one of the bigger misunderstandings is that you're not hiring a consultant as a fractional leader. You're hiring somebody to embed and to be a leader in the organization. And that may be a distinction without a difference. I actually think it's a very big difference.
Yeah,
because there's a fiduciary duty. There is a way of looking at all the inputs that you have and giving advice and counsel that and providing leadership. A fractional person, seems to me, would be the one of the ideal outcomes is to set the next person up for success.
Yeah.
And you can do that by being sort of liberated and contrary the way a consultant can do, or you can do that by figuring out understanding the culture, understanding the environment, and then figuring out how to make that seamless transition. So Yeah. Ideally, it seems to me, a transition from fractional to permanent leadership is seamless, not is evolutionary, not revolutionary.
Right. Thank you. That's said very well. Those parts. Who is the best communicator you've ever seen in action? I love asking this question.
Oh my gosh, I should have prepared for that. That is a great question. Um,
It doesn't have to be just like the greatest, but
yeah. Um, so I'm going to answer it maybe in a little bit different way.
sure.
Uh, to me, entertainment is a form of communications,
Mm-hmm.
and the best entertainer and I'm a huge music fan like you, the best entertainer I ever saw was Prince. And his ability to compel an audience and to create and to tell stories on stage and to present and project not just playing songs
Right.
but a whole thing was extraordinary.
What was the most ridiculous thing you've ever had to explain as a communicator?
Oh, the most ridiculous thing I ever had to explain about a communicator was sex toys.
I know. I knew. Tell a story briefly, as best you can.
So, a very prominent faculty member at a university I worked with who did behavioral studies, placed an ad on the student bulletin board one day, soliciting students to participate in a study of, it was actually a study, if I recall correctly, it was a study of like chastity and something sex toys.
Mm-hmm.
And if you participate in the study, you got to keep the sex toys. Needless to say, the study was oversubscribed.
Right.
And one of the people who saw that ad was the mother of a young student who of a first year student who was looking for a job for her daughter, wash dishes or babysit, whatever, and came across the sex toy advertisement. And instead of doing what most people do, which is call the president's office to complain, she called a prominent religious leader on campus, who then who's somebody I knew, and much to my disappointment, instead of calling and asking what's going on, decided to send out a statement to the media about how this is outrageous and corrupting young morals and all that. So I had to. I ended up going on TV, and if you Google my name and sex toys, you'll find some. Interesting things.
Everybody do that.
Yes, to explain why research involving sex toys was covered by academic freedom. Made me a hero to the faculty, and it made me a laughingstock for a whole lot of other people. But that was...
All right, we have two more questions. What is one thing that no one knows about you?
That I have absolutely no musical talent. I can play the volume control barely. But I am a long time and have been a DJ, and I was a DJ one summer at a nightclub in North Carolina, and it was my job to get people out on the dance floor.
Oh my God, you're a motivator. Yeah.
That was I was, now that was a long time ago. This was like when you could play Michael Jackson unironically.
Right.
That's what I did. So yes,
Wow.
I was a DJ at Bananas Lounge.
Wow. That I would never, you got me. I would never have known.
Yep.
All right, coming to the end. Last question. What would you do with an extra 10 minutes in your day?
The first thing I would do is I'd aggregate it and I'd think about what would I do with an extra 70 minutes a week.
Okay, fair.
And with 70 minutes a week, I would learn a new language.
What language?
The language of music. I deeply resent my parents for not forcing me to learn how to play a musical instrument. And as a result, I love music. I can't read music, but I would love to learn. I'd love to be a drummer, a bassist, a guitarist, and one day maybe. But that's what I would do.
Michael, thank you. I've known you for a long time, and I learned a lot of things. So this is very exciting.
Well, I'm an international man of mystery.
Exactly. Thank you so much. Really happy to
Thank
have
you,
you.
Jane. Delighted to be here. This was great fun.